Here is my review of the Gtomega Classic wheel stand. Now to start off, I would just like to say I did previously have a WheelStandPro, but I swapped it for this wheel stand, and I'll go over why in a second. I've always been massively impressed with Gtomega's build quality, and I've had this chair for about 3 or 4 years now, and it still looks as good as it did when I first got it, and I wouldn't be surprised if the wheel stand is the same. I replaced my WheelStandPro with this stand mainly due to the central bar the WheelStandPro has. This made it really uncomfortable for me to use in my seating position, and it was getting a bit annoying every time I used it. With this wheel stand though, that is not a problem because you have 2 bars either side of the pedals, and it is a lot easier to enter the stand and exit the stand, as well as making it a lot more comfortable to use for long periods of time, which is especially useful in endurance races. Now you may be thinking, if you're that into sim racing, why don't you just get a cockpit? Really, the room I'm in isn't big enough for a cockpit. It would have been an inconvenience, and it wasn't really something I could get. So instead, I got the wheel stand. The plus side with this wheel stand is you can buy an extension for it for about £60 I think, and that turns it into a cockpit. So this was a massive selling almost feature for me, as I wanted to be able to maybe make it into a cockpit in the future, but I can still have the wheel stand at the moment. At first I was a bit concerned about this wheel stand, as it does have a wobble, and I thought, what if I feel this when I'm racing? But actually this isn't a problem, so don't worry, because I actually don't notice it when I'm using it. This is mainly due to the big rubber pads on the base of this stand, and actually not only do they grip on the floor a lot better than the WheelStandPro, they also transmit less noise through the ceiling. The pedals on this stand I find mount a lot better than they do on the WheelStandPro, and actually they are way more solid as they are kind of clamped in. Which leads me on to the adjustability of this stand. At first it was a bit of a pain to set up, and actually it was probably about half an hour getting the right height and everything, but actually I find the positioning a bit better than the WheelStandPro, because not only is it more useful for people of different heights, so then I can use it and then my dad can use it, but also you can mount the wheel flatter than you can on the WheelStandPro, as there are 2 bolts here which then allow you to tilt the base forward, which is quite nice on the G920, because the G920 does have, it is on a bit of an angle. There is much better cable management on this stand, as well as it supports a lot of wheels. You can have the whole Logitech range, the whole Thrustmaster range, Fanatec wheels, and I think basically that's all the steering wheels that you can get these days anyway. Overall, the positioning of this stand is very good. I can't fault it, especially the shifter mount. I went for the V2, I think it's the V2, the one that mounts off the stand, as it's more convenient for me. Obviously you can get a shifter mount for the WheelStandPro as well, so both wheel stands you can get them. The downside of this stand not moving on the floor is actually it's harder to move if you use 2 devices. So I play Assetto Corsa on my PC quite a lot, but I also play Forza Horizon 4 on my Xbox. So that is a pain for me, but it might not be for you. As I said, this isn't really a negative, this is just if you use 2 devices. As I said at the start of the video, I really had to think about these negatives, and I'm not saying the WheelStandPro is a bad stand either, because I think it's all down to personal preference. Personally, for me, I prefer this stand, but I know other people prefer the WheelStandPro. Personally, I think the WheelStandPro maybe is a bit better built than this one, but they're very close and it's all what you prefer. The WheelStandPro is a bit more compact and you can move it around easier, whereas this is more, you kind of leave this in one position. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you want to see more simulator content and general automotive content, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like rating, as that helps a lot. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.